Well, it's been a long time coming, but I finally decided to pull the trigger on this hydraulic top link. I thought I'd take you guys along on the install and kind of show you how this goes for me. I've already watched a ton of these videos myself, and there's several different applications, and it really kind of depends on how compact your tractor is in terms of how this install goes. So my thought was to show you how this install was going to go on my L4760 tractor, and then maybe you guys can get some ideas as to whether this might be something that might be the right fit for you in your application or not. Now, ultimately, I've had this tractor for about 5 years now, and predominantly most of the work that I've been doing with this had been from the front end loader itself. However, this year I did go ahead and pull the trigger on a land plane, and after using that thing on my other driveway a couple times now, I quickly realized that this top link might be a good fit for me now when it came to adjusting the height on this thing. Not to mention, I've got a few other purchases I'm wanting to make next spring, one of them being a flail mower along with a couple other implements that I think will actually help me out here on the farm. So with that being said, which top link do you go with? How do you measure? I want to kind of take you guys through all of that in this video. So let me go ahead and get the factory top link off my tractor here. We'll lay these things side by side, and I'll kind of show you some of the measurements on these and how I came to getting this one here. So the first thing I want to go ahead and do is get this quick connect off of here real fast. So let me go ahead and pop this off. When it comes to picking out your top link and who you go with, for me, I found a local company called AgriStore that's here in Indiana, and I always try to support the local companies when I can, so that's why I went ahead and picked it up from them, along with the fact that they've got a pretty decent quality top link from what I could tell when I was looking around on the market. So another reason I also picked up the one I did was because this has a double piloted check valve on it. And that's going to be really important. We'll go over that here in just a second once I get this thing on here. And then something else to keep in mind too is, it seems like everybody installs these top links a different direction or a different orientation, kind of based on their tractor. So the way I think this is going to fit is I'm going to put the fixed side towards the tractor. That way the hoses stay in place when I hook up to my rear remote here. And I'm also going to put that double piloted check valve facing up instead of down. And the main reason for that for me is because I've got this shield right here that goes around my PTO, and I think that's going to hit when I run this 3-point up and down. So let's go get this off of here real quick. Put that right there. Pull this pin. All right, let's get these down on the ground and we'll compare these two real quick. Okay, so both of these top links now here on the ground now. So you can see that fully retracted. This one here used to retract all the way. However, my threads are a little boogered up right now. So that's as far as I can get that in. But you can see here that basically with it in the current condition right now, it's pretty close when it's fully retracted to being the same as the new hydraulic top link. Essentially what I ordered is a 20 7/8 at its shortest setting up to a 31 7/8, and I will leave the part number as well as the website for this new hydraulic top link in the description. If you guys have the same model tractor, you might be able to use the same one here that I've got here in front of me. But essentially this is fully retracted, and then when you fully extend out your other hydraulic top link, you can take that measurement and you can see kind of where that lands. And then they have multiple sizes, whether it be category 1, category 2, or even 3 for your top links, just depending on which tractor you've got. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to them as well, or whoever you're going to be buying from, because I know, at least in my instance, AgriStore was great at answering any questions I had. Now, when it comes to this new hydraulic top link here, you'll notice this right here, and that is your double piloted check valve. I would, in my opinion, based on my research, I honestly don't know why anybody would go with one of these units without having this. Now, for the pros and cons that I was able to find when I was doing my research was that this top link having that double piloted check valve, essentially wherever you have this extended out to, it's going to lock that in place. So if you've got any kind of hydraulic leak on your tractor where it's going to bleed off, and that might actually be the case when you just shut the tractor down and you leave it for an extended period of time, it might bleed off, especially if you've got a heavy implement on the back of it. However, if you're using anything that does any kind of pulling across the ground, so for like your land planes, your box blades, your brush hogs, anything like that, that check valve is going to lock in place and keep that valve in that high setting for you, so it's not forcing the hydraulic pressure back up into your hydraulic system on the tractor. At least that's my understanding of it. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this on the tractor real quick, and we'll get our lines hooked up. There's a couple things to go over on those lines as well, and we'll see if we can get this thing used for the first time, and I'll show you how this one operates. Now, we've got 3 different holes we can put this in. I'm going to go ahead and start with the top hole because that's what I had the other top link in to begin with. We can always adjust that later if we need to, if it's hitting somewhere. And like I said, this is not like a one-size-fits-all type deal. Every tractor and every model is going to be a little bit different just based on how your 3-point hitch is set up. But for this instance here, let's start with the top like I mentioned. We'll go ahead and get this in place. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm going to put the fixed end facing the tractor, so the actual hydraulic arm is going to be pushing out on my quick hitch here. So let's go ahead and get that in here like this. And now that I've got this in place, I should be able to go ahead and get my lines on. We'll figure out what that looks like routed up to the remote here. Main thing thing is we just want to make sure those lines aren't rubbing or pinching anywhere. You can actually pick up 2 different lengths of hoses here. So these are pre-made and they come with the kit. And I think all in with this hydraulic kit being the top link and the hoses, I was right around $300. At the time of this video, AgriStore does offer free shipping on their items as long as it's over $150. That could change in the future depending on when you're watching this video. But essentially on these hoses, I opted for the 24-inch hoses, and then they've also got 2 different style of your hydraulic fittings just based on what your tractor has on it. So take a look at that, and they've got really nice diagrams on the website as to how to identify what you've got in case you don't already know. So we'll go ahead and we'll put these to here, and then these are going to wrap around like so, and you can see how that's going to kind of fit. So let me go ahead and get this thing down somewhat level so it's a little easier to work on, and then we'll get these hooked up. You'll notice one has a 90-degree with a little bit of an elbow on it. This one here is just kind of a straight banjo fitting into it. So we'll decide where these need to go in place, and then after that we should be in good shape and be ready to test this thing out. So just kind of briefly looking at this right now, this obviously gives me a little more height on this elbow piece, so I'm going to put that in the back so that it can kind of sit over the top of the one in the front, and then once those are in, I should be able to route those up to my remote here and make those all work pretty good. So we'll do like that, and that way when this thing drops down, it's got the movement. So to take the little plugs out of the top link here, you're gonna need an 8mm Allen, which is what I've got right here in my hand. I'll go ahead and get these plugs out of here. So now that I got the plugs out, we're able to go ahead and thread these in. So we just gotta take these little protective caps off. Now there is a crush washer on both of these, kind of like you'd have on like a brake line fitting on a vehicle. So we just need to make sure we don't lose those little crush washers here, and we'll get these in place. And I'll go ahead and do one at a time here, just so I don't lose anything. So we'll go ahead and put this one in here in the back. Now a little trick on this one here is you do have this little fitting here on this elbow, and you're gonna have to loosen that up ever so slightly to get this to spin if you're gonna get it to thread in. So we'll go ahead and get this all threaded in, get that tight, and then we'll snug up that other fitting, and then that'll all be good to go. There it is. We won't tighten that up just yet. I want to get this all connected up, make sure these things have the right angle that I want off the top link. And then we'll go ahead and get this one here put in as well. Now this one here, the bolt just spins like so. It's got those crush washers on top and bottom. That one's a lot easier to actually get in place. So we'll get those snugged up just ever so slightly, and then we'll go ahead and route this in to my remotes. Now I've never used these remotes before, so this will be interesting to see if they actually lock in place easily or not. Seems like it did okay. And then this one, push it in. There we go. So now we'll get these both tightened up, get these like that. I think what I'll do is I'll probably throw a zip tie right around here just to kind of keep these hoses together like that, and that'll look nice and clean. Now, as I mentioned, if you don't feel like that's enough length for you, this is the 24-inch length. You can go to that 36. My concern was, though, if I went that long, that it was going to bring that hose way out here. I just didn't want to chance that getting into any of my implements that I had hooked up. And since I don't have a lot of experience with this setup and running implements just yet, I just decided to go with the shorter length to take the chance. So we'll go ahead and get these tightened up here. It's a 22 mil. So get this tightened up to where these crush sleeves are tight and we don't have any leaks. That should be good. And we'll get this bottom one here. It would be easier if I had done that first, I guess. Now I'll tighten up this top fitting here. Let's check this thing for leaks and see if it's operational. Well, from what I could tell sitting in the cab, looks like this thing operates pretty well. I don't see any leaks anywhere at all, so that's also a good sign. I guess all that's left is let's go hook up to my land plane. We'll get that thing on there and take a look at how that looks at the adjustment. Maybe we can even run a couple passes on the driveway and get a feel for how this thing works. But let's go ahead and get over the other driveway and put this thing in use and see how this thing actually operates. So out here at my land plane, we're gonna get this thing hooked up, and it's usually pretty easy to get this one hooked up. I've also had issues where if I'm coming in at a weird angle or the grade's different versus how the tractor's sitting, I've had to adjust that top link just to get the quick hitch to actually hook up. It's not as much a problem on this land plane as it has been on like my ballast box trying to get onto that. Sometimes at a weird angle, I fight getting on that. So I'm hoping that this hydraulic top link does a decent job of getting in here, being able to help me actually get on the attachment as well as get back off again. And then we'll go ahead and get this thing on the driveway as well and take a look and see if we can figure out how to mess with the depth a little bit. I think that's also going to help me get over that learning curve a little bit on this attachment because I've only got just a couple of hours of use on this thing since I've owned it. So let's go ahead and get the tractor started up, get this thing hooked up. It looks like we're on there. All right, now let's run this thing up and down and see what it looks like. Oh man, that's cool. Oh, that's gonna be so awesome to have. Sweet. Okay, so I'm already impressed. This thing's awesome. So you can see coming into that, I'm not an expert getting these implements on by any means yet. I just don't have enough practice with it. However, that was probably the easiest it's ever been for me to get this thing actually on there. Usually it takes me several attempts. So I'm already over the moon on this thing. Now, let's go ahead and get this thing going down the driveway. I'll make a couple passes here. I'm gonna regrade this whole gravel drive in the spring, but I'm itching to try this thing out. So let's see what we can get accomplished with this real quick. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm actually pretty impressed. That was probably the easiest it's been for me. I've still got a lot to learn when it comes to operating an implement like this. So that's just gonna come with time and more hours as I've got time to actually do this and practice a little bit. But being able to actually adjust this thing up and down like that while I was on the fly, especially at the end of my driveway where it kind of switches grades just a little bit as I'm going up into the road. And I noticed by pulling that back a little bit, I didn't dig in as much. So those are the kind of things that I'm really after when it comes to this top link and being able to run it with an implement like this. Hopefully this video was somewhat helpful for you in making a decision as to whether this top link might be the right fit for you and your tractor or not. Overall, I think it was a pretty easy install. Having that little double piloted check valve on the top there, I think is going to be an absolute must when it comes to operating this top link, especially when you're putting any kind of pressure on this thing. The ability to have this thing kind of lock in place when I'm going over uneven terrain and pulling against the implement with the tractor, I think that part's going to play a huge role in this top link and how well it performs. So once again, I'll leave a link as well as the model number and the dimensions in the description for you guys to check out, just in case you're curious on the dimensions that I chose on this. So once again, my tractor is a Kubota L4760 using a category 1 3-point hitch, and everything went together flawlessly, didn't have any issues at all, and I'm really looking forward to having this thing from time to come. Just gonna make my life that much easier. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. We'll catch you guys on the next video.